Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we are going to discuss the trouble ticket report. I know that a lot of you have had questions about this trouble ticket system and how you're supposed to properly fill out the trouble ticket. And I know that a lot of you have had a difficult time in the first week of class. So today I just wanted to do a brief video and discuss with you guys what it is that you're doing in this form, what its purpose is, and why it has a value. So the trouble ticket report is designed to ensure that you guys are doing the labs for class and to make sure that you understand what it is that you're doing in the labs. So as you fill out the trouble ticket form, you're not supposed to copy word for word what it is that you're doing in the lab based off of what the lab tells you to do. You're supposed to be describing what you did as a total overall endeavor. And any drawbacks or issues that you had while you were doing the lab, anything that came up. So just to show you how this works, this is the trouble ticket report for Lab 1-1. Um, I just filled it out with some information. It wasn't specifically for 1-1 lab. I'm just giving you some input. So you can see here this name, it's just a generic name, the job title, the department, all of this stuff up here at the top is all just generic information, except for that it's for lab 1.1 and that it's for week 1 of the course. So just some generic, random, somewhat silly information in there. Those of you that are old enough to know whose phone number that is, you should get a kick out of that. The description of the problem is a example of what you're going to get when you go out into the field and deal with trouble tickets that people are putting in on their own. Um, Most companies nowadays, if somebody has an issue with their computer, they have them create a trouble ticket that is then assigned to you. And sometimes the trouble ticket will make sense, and sometimes the trouble ticket won't make any sense whatsoever. So um, you can go ahead and read that and see how that works out. But here in red, this is what we're actually starting to fill out. So you are going to put your name under the assigned to. The date that you complete the assignment is where your date is where the date's going to be. The time that you completed the assignment. This doesn't have to be exact. You can put whatever time you want. The total hours worked. This is actually something that I do want from you. The time on task, how long you were working on this lab. Sometimes it's going to be an hour, sometimes it's going to be 3 hours. This time on task will allow me to understand what types of situations you ran into while doing the lab, and if you were able to just blow through it real quick, or if it was something that you got confused or stuck on. So under the initial actions, this section is where you're going to explain what you did. Don't say exactly what the lab says, step 1, do this, step 2, do that. Just put what you need to put in for the lab to say that you did what it is you wanted to do. So an example to this, the solution to this user's issue was to create a Windows Media Creation tool. So this is actually Lab 1.2 that we're talking about. On an 8 gigabyte USB drive, I used the Toshiba 32 gigabyte USB drive to create the media for the user. I also created an ISO file that I stored on my external hard drive in case any users needed it. Follow-up action. In this follow-up action, this is where I want you to actually discuss what types of issues you ran into. So if this was actually Lab 1.2, some of you may have used your 1 terabyte external drive to create your USB drive for this Lab 1.2. If you did that, what you did was you actually turned your 1 terabyte hard drive into a 32 gigabyte hard drive, and the rest of the hard drive space is unpartitioned. You may not know that yet because you haven't been able to complete Lab 2.1, but I promise you that's what you've done. So you'll actually have to recreate the installation media on a separate 8 to 32 gigabyte USB drive and then your 1 terabyte drive needs to be reformatted back to the 1 terabyte size. And if you don't know how to do that, you'll have to contact your instructor or come into the lab times for class to have somebody fix that. Nevertheless, so in this section, you're going to put what your issue was, what type of situations you ran into. So if this was actually lab 1-1, every single one of you should have said that you didn't know, or I'm sorry, that the key for VMware Workstation was for version 16, and the only available version online was version 17. So you had to contact the instructor to get a new version 17 product key in order to make VMware Workstation work. Or if you were working on the situation and you didn't know how to fill out the trouble ticket, you could have just stated you don't know how to fill out the trouble ticket. So you contacted the instructor and they sent you this drawn out explanation. So just whatever issues that you ran into, how you resolved them, what you did to resolve them, that's what you're going to put inside of the follow-up action area. All this other stuff here, this is irrelevant. It's just kind of, this whole trouble ticket idea is to give you an idea of what that trouble ticket's going to look like. And then under final notes, this is where you'd put any other information that's relevant. So for this one, while performing step 13, I noticed that the image was a little different than what I saw on my computer. Maybe it was an issue that prevented you from being able to complete the lab. Maybe it was just an inconvenience that you noticed. Regardless, final notes is just an extra area where you can put stuff. Notice that both of these sections are relatively full, but they're not, pages upon pages of information. You want to be short and sweet, but at the same time, you want to be concise in filling out these documents. Imagine if you were sending this document to a job on an instance where this was something that has never been done before, and everybody at the office was running into the same issue. If you have clear and concise information, you'll be able to put that information down so that other people can access it. So having said all of that, that's pretty much how this trouble ticket form should be filled out. As always, if you have any other issues, let us know and we'll be happy to help you out. But do make sure that you click on the like and the subscribe for all of these videos. The subscribes are being monitored to validate that you're watching the videos, and so are the likes. So make sure that you're clicking on those. And if you have anything else that you need, let us know and we'll be happy to help you out. Have a great day.